Hi, this is Rad Rob at RIP Custom Guitars. This is the second episode of the Ryan Waste MW Axe build. In this episode, we're going to cover shaping the neck blank, routing cavities for the truss rod and carbon fiber reinforcement, cutting inlays, and shaping the body and headstock. We finished off episode 1 scraping off excess dried glue. Now we're going to joint both faces of the neck blank to make sure they're square and flat. I then finished cleaning up the faces of the neck blank by running it through the thickness planer. Referencing the full-size plan I drew up, I'm going to transfer the information for the headstock and neck angle to the side of the neck blank. For this build, we're using a 15-degree headstock angle and a 3-degree neck angle. With a 1/4-inch fretboard, that gives us about 5/8 of an inch string projection over the body. I'm also marking the thickness for the neck and where the neck transitions into the body. I'll use the body template to mark out the wings on some 8/4 mahogany as well. Once everything's marked out, I'm going to double check it against the full-size plan and then head over to the bandsaw and rough cut out the blanks. I'm going to rough trim the body to size, but I'm going to leave 2 taps parallel to the center line for clamping. Here I'm trimming off a section of the neck blank around the body to create the correct neck angle. Then we finish up rough shaping by trimming the back of the neck. Here we have a shot of the rough cut neck blank and body. Using the router table and a flush trim bit, we're going to clean up the neck angle on the blank. On the belt sander, we're going to smooth out the 15-degree angle on the headstock. Now that all the appropriate angles are cut and cleaned up on the face of the neck blank, we're going to use double stick tape to attach a template to the face of the neck to route the truss rod and carbon fiber channels. I'm going to be doing 3 1/8-inch passes for a final depth of 3/8 on the truss rod channel. Parallel to each side of the truss rod, I'll be routing a 1/4-inch deep channel for the carbon fiber rods. Once we're finished up routing channels, I'm going to install both the carbon fiber rods and glue them in place using CA. Next, I'll be gluing on the wings for the headstock. I'll be using a couple of mahogany scraps from the neck blank offcuts. Using a couple of C-clamps, I can make sure the wings we're gluing on will stay flush with the face of the headstock. I'm drilling 2 16th-inch holes in the side of the neck blank for brass registration pins. These registration pins will prevent slipping during glue-up and help maintain the desired neck angle. While the glue on the body dries, I'm going to start cutting inlays. I printed out a full sheet of the MW logos to use as a guide for the inlays. These will be cut out and glued to a piece of pearl shell using wood glue. An inlay this large requires multiple pieces. I'm being conscious to lay out the logo on the pearl shell in a way that will create consistent figuring across the inlay. Using a jeweler's saw, I'm going to cut out all the inlay pieces. I occasionally wax the blade to prevent it from binding. Here's the finished up set. I used 4 pearl shell blanks for a 19-piece inlay set. Now that the glue is dried up for the headstock and the body wings, we can take it out of clamps. I'll use a cabinet scraper to remove any excess glue and flush up the joints. Using a chisel and hand plane, I'll flush up the front and back of the neck blank to the body. Using 120 grit sandpaper and a palm sander, I'll remove any tool marks from the faces of the instrument. Once the instrument's sanded smooth, I'm going to lay out center lines and then the body and headstock for trimming to final dimensions. Over the bandsaw, I'll remove excess material on the body and headstock. Last step is finalizing the shape of the headstock using the disc sander. That wraps up this episode. Be sure to like and subscribe. Drop a comment to let us know what you'd like to see us build next. Thanks for watching.